Finn just landed a $100,000 a year job. His friends are impressed. His parents tell him he's doing well. And for the first time, Finn feels like he's finally made it. But there's one problem. 3 months later, Finn still feels broke. His bank account isn't growing nearly as fast as he expected. And despite earning six figures, he's wondering, where is all my money going? Because here's the uncomfortable truth about Australia. A $100,000 salary can make you comfortable without making you wealthy. And today, we're going to follow Finn's entire $100,000 salary and see exactly where it goes. Because once you see the numbers, you'll understand why earning more isn't necessarily the same thing as getting richer. Let's start with a number everyone sees, $100,000. But Finn doesn't actually get $100,000 deposited into his bank account. Assuming Finn is an Australian tax resident, has no special deductions and isn't factoring in a HELP debt, his income tax, for the 2026-27 financial year is roughly $20,788 before the Medicare levy. The Medicare levy is generally another 2% of taxable income, or about $2,000 on a $100,000 taxable income. So Finn's $100,000 salary becomes roughly $77,200 after income tax and Medicare. That's about $1,485 a week. Already, Finn has lost almost $23,000 before he's bought a single coffee. And this is where the story really begins. Finn gets paid. He sees $1,485 and thinks, okay, that's actually pretty good. Then rent arrives. Let's say Finn lives in a major Australian city and pays around $600 a week for rent. That's $31,200 a year. Then groceries. Let's say around $150 a week. That's another $7,800 a year. Then electricity, internet, phone, insurance, transport, petrol, subscriptions, gym, going out, the occasional Uber Eats that somehow costs $47. And suddenly, that $100,000 salary doesn't feel quite so impressive. But here's where things get interesting. Finn gets a pay rise. He's now earning $120,000. You'd expect his financial situation to improve dramatically. And it does. For about 3 months, he upgrades his apartment, gets a nicer car, starts going to better restaurants, books a holiday, buys a few more subscriptions, and suddenly his lifestyle has caught up with his income. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it's one of the biggest reasons people can earn more money without actually becoming wealthy. Because there's a psychological trap. When your income rises, your definition of normal rises with it. At $60,000, a $15 lunch feels expensive. At $100,000, you barely think about it. At $150,000, the $30 lunch becomes normal. And eventually, you can be earning twice what you used to, while still wondering, why don't I have any money? This is where we need to make an important distinction. Being rich and being wealthy aren't necessarily the same thing. Someone earning $200,000 a year can still have a huge mortgage, expensive car payments, lifestyle, debt, little invested, almost no emergency savings. Meanwhile, someone earning $90,000 could have a paid-off car, $50,000, invested a growing super balance, low expenses, no consumer debt. Who is actually in the stronger financial position? The second person might be. Because income tells you how much money is coming in, wealth tells you how much you keep and own. And that distinction is the entire game. There's another part of Finn's $100,000 package that most people don't think about, superannuation. Since 1st July 2025, Australia's super guarantee rate has been 12%. So if Finn's $100,000 salary is plus super, his employer could be contributing another $12,000 a year into his super fund. Finn might barely notice it. He can't spend it on a new car. He can't use it to pay rent. But that money is quietly being invested for his future. And this is an important lesson. Building wealth isn't always about having more money sitting in your bank account. Sometimes it's about putting money into assets that can grow while you get on with your life. So what should Finn do? Should he stop enjoying himself? Never go on holiday? Eat 2-minute noodles every night? Absolutely not. The goal isn't to look poor so you can become wealthy. The goal is to make sure your lifestyle doesn't consume everything you earn. So Finn creates 3 rules. Rule number 1, pay himself first. Before Finn has the chance to spend it, a portion of his income automatically goes toward his financial future. Rule number 2, avoid lifestyle inflation. When Finn gets a $10,000 pay rise, he doesn't immediately increase his spending by $10,000. Maybe he spends some, but he invests the rest. Income increases, lifestyle increases slightly. Wealth increases significantly. Rule number 3, buy assets, not just stuff. Finn starts learning about things like ETFs, shares, property, superannuation, and other productive assets. The point isn't to find the next stock that's going to 10x. It's to gradually turn Finn's income into ownership, because eventually his money needs to start making money. And this is where the story gets exciting. Imagine Finn earns $100,000. He doesn't need to become a millionaire next year. He needs to do something much less exciting. Repeat good decisions for a very long time. Save, invest, avoid unnecessary debt, increase his income, invest more when his income rises, and keep doing it. $10,000 invested becomes $50,000. $50,000 becomes $100,000. $100,000 becomes $250,000, and eventually $1 million. The exact timeline will depend on returns, contributions, taxes, inflation, and Finn's circumstances. But that's the important part. Finn isn't trying to get rich quickly. He's trying to make getting wealthy almost inevitable through consistent behavior. And that's the biggest mistake people make when they think about wealth. They look for the shortcut. The next hot stock, the perfect property, the secret investment strategy, the side hustle that supposedly makes $10,000 a month. But most wealth isn't built in one massive moment. It's built through hundreds of relatively boring decisions. Spending slightly less than you earn, investing consistently, increasing your income, avoiding financial disasters, and giving your money enough time to compound, because $100,000 doesn't make Finn wealthy. What Finn does with the $100,000 is what matters. So if you're earning $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, or even $150,000, don't just ask, how can I earn more? Ask, how much of what I earn am I actually turning into wealth? Because looking rich is easy. Becoming wealthy takes time. And that's the long game. Australian money, explained simply. Subscribe and follow Finn's journey to his first $1 million.